Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday. Welcome to another episode of The Takeaway with me, your host, Munif. Now, today we have a very special day. We have seller calls with Ralph. Ralph will be joining us very shortly, and he will be making seller calls, and I will be here. I will be giving him feedback. He will be calling real sellers. He will be talking to real people, and we'll be giving real feedback. What is up? Some guy named Matt. What is up, man? Oh, and look who it is. I see him right now. He has joined us. Yo, Ralph, what's up, man?
How's it going? You hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, I hear you loud and clear. How are you, man?
I'm good. And I turned down the volume on my computer, so hopefully you're not getting...
No feedback, no echo. It's amazing. Nice. Thank you.
Nice. Awesome. How's your day going?
It's good. I'm so sorry. I was caught up in meetings. I know we had a one-on-one scheduled, but I'm so sorry I had to miss it.
Here's our one-on-one.
All right, cool. So how is everything, bro?
It's good. Just enjoying my day off and getting some new leads in. It looks like we're starting to get some leads popping and back in. So because I was getting low there.
I know. I want to make sure you guys always have leads. You know what I mean? I never want to put you guys in a position where you literally don't have sellers to call. Like if you guys put the hours in. Remember I showed you guys the KPIs? So I was like, you literally have to call this many sellers and you're going to get a contract, right? Remember we broke it down? So now that you know, right? Now that you know, it's like, for me, if I was in your shoes, I'd be motivated. I'd be like, oh man, I used an analogy. And so we have a number right now. It's like there's a certain amount of lead. I forgot the number. I think like 50 or 60 or something like that. There's a certain amount of leads. If you have this many conversations, you're going to get a contract. So the analogy I used was, let's just put that many. Let's say the number is 60. I don't know. Let's put 60 jelly beans in a jelly bean jar. And then like every call, every conversation you have, you eat a jelly bean. Now I know for you don't like jelly beans, a lot of sugar. Maybe it's like pecans or something. I don't know. Pistachios. And you eat a pistachio every single time you talk to a seller. And the goal is finish empty the jar, right? And you just know that when the jar is empty, you got yourself a deal. And the thing here is, it's like, that's an amazing, I think that's a really good outlook for it. But then, you're going to run through leads and, then you guys might be like, hey, I'm out of leads to call. Right. And that I love that problem because that means I got to go get more leads. And I'd love to. So how has that been? What do you think about the KPIs? Like us showing you the numbers, the metrics? How has that been?
That was eye-opening, I would say, is the big word. I didn't realize I tracked my KPIs daily, but I'd never added them up for the month. And when you showed us those numbers, I was definitely surprised at the number of calls I make. I'm always working against the clock because I still work a full-time W-2, and my W-2 is not like many people's where they can kind of work a little bit on other stuff while they're there.
Right.
I'm full-blown patient care, the 8 to 9 hours I'm there. So when I get home, I get 2, maybe 3 hours a night on my work days to call. And then on my days off, I do what I can. And I'll usually put in anywhere from 5 to 6 hours, throughout the day with breaks in between. But yeah, I was very surprised at the numbers that I hit. They were a lot higher than I expected.
I know. I saw your numbers. I was like, yo, you're killing it. You're actually, I think you're like number one, like as far as like calls output, or I think you're like number one. I think you like make the most calls on the team, which is dope.
So now we just got to get that closing rate to keep going up.
Well, a lot of it is us pre-qualifying leads, right? Because like a lot of the leads you call as a closer, and this goes for everybody. I want everyone to understand this. As a closer, it's not your highest and best use to constantly disqualify leads, right? You should really be calling leads that have been qualified, that have been vetted, and just appropriately teed up for you, right? And you see this. I mean, geez Louise, like, you see it everywhere. Like, have you ever, I don't know, returned something to Amazon and had to call their customer support?
Yeah.
Right. Typically, the person you talk to, the first person you talk to on the phone, they should be able to help you with your need, right? And just disqualify you, right? Just help you out and say, hey, here's the thing, you're done. But in certain cases, it gets escalated to their manager, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's you. You're the manager.
I'm the manager.
You're the manager. And like, you know, whoever's vetting and disqualifying, right? If they're escalating something to you before, it's like you calling Amazon, you're going, hey, I got a return I need. And the customer service is going, oh, I got to escalate this to my manager. No problem. And then you bring the manager in. Manager's like, what's up? They're like, oh, I just need a return. And they're like, oh, yeah, press this button, return. Right? You do it, and you're like, great. That person you talked to could have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The manager's really there for escalations. And, you know, if everyone's doing that, and the manager's just constantly on the phone handling stuff that really a lot of the VAs can handle or whatever, then, you know, you end up spending a lot of money on managers, right? When you look at costs, and then you lose money. So you look at a business like Amazon, you look at like any real business, any retail business, and like the front end person should be able to handle, you know, 80-90% of things. And then when things get escalated, that's when you have somebody who's a professional, who's an expert come in to handle the nuances, right? That's you as a closer. You are the supervisor. You are the last line of defense to really cater to somebody who's in a specific scenario where you can structure a deal. Does that make sense?
It does. Yep.
Awesome. All right, that's enough about Amazon. That's enough about managers. Let's get some calls in, bro.
Cool. All right, let's see. Let me pull up my leads. I actually got a guy who was told him I'd call him around this time, so I'm a little behind, but we know that's sometimes a good thing, right?
Bro,
Gives you a
that's
little credibility. You can see you're coming out of a meeting or something. So
I always leave sellers like hanging a little bit. I'm always late. I'm like, I'll call you at 5. I'll call him at 5:10, 5:07. No, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. My last meeting bled over. So sorry. What's up? Is this still a bad time? Is this still a good time?
Yep.
So
awesome. All right. Well, let's give it a try.
Please leave your message for.
you're gonna want to lower my volume, right? Oh, he already did. He's already lowered my volume. He knows the game.
Please leave your message.
One more. I had a feeling about this guy. Let's see. Let's do one more.
Yeah, let's do it. I have like 8. I already have 8 missed calls. Jeez Louise.
Yeah. Hello?
Hey, Gordon.
Yeah.
Hey, Gordon, it's Ralph. Sorry I'm a little late. I know I was supposed to call you around 2 o'clock my time, but ran a little bit late in a meeting. Did I catch you at a bad time?
Actually, I'm just on the other line. I'll be off in about 5 minutes.
Okay, cool. Just give me, I can give you a call back in a few minutes if that works.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Gordon.
All right, thanks.
All right, bye.
That's why we triple dial.
Yep. And he was, I knew he was, so he's in California, so we are on a time differential. And I did say 2 o'clock my time, but he may have just forgotten. He might be at work. So I'll try again. This is an interesting one.
Pro tip, real quick pro tip. pro tip is always do it in their time. So okay, so say let's say you're setting an appointment, right? You just go to Google and then do 2 p.m. EST to PST, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it'll tell you what time it is.
Oh no, he said 2:00. Like he said, call me at 2:00 your time is what he said to me yesterday.
I know, I get it.
Yeah.
But you have to say, because people forget.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So you say, hey, okay, so that's 11 o'clock your time,
Yes.
right? Because people like I do this where I'm like, oh yeah, call me your time, and I did it wrong where I'm like doing Arizona time. I'm telling Caroline, I'm like, hey, it's 4 o'clock your time, and it's actually 5 o'clock your time because I'm just like messing it up in my head, right? So I always do this with sellers. I go, hey, 11 o'clock your time, right? And they'll either confirm or go, oh no, I meant 12 actually, my time.
Nice.
And then you'll know it's 3 your time. You know what I mean? But I've actually done that because I have a seller in California, right? He's in San Francisco, and it's like always, and that's like a small nuance, but just like take 2 seconds, open up a tab, and be like, hey, so just making sure this time your time, right? I'll go yes, and you go, okay, I will call you tomorrow, 11 o'clock your time. And just always bring it back to their time, because people don't think in terms of other people when they're just like living their life. They think in terms of them. And so when 11 o'clock hits, he's not thinking what time it is on the East Coast. He's thinking like, oh shit, I was supposed to call, someone's going to call me at 11 today.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
100%.
Cool.
Well, this is interesting. It's in Rancho Cucamonga, California. And I think ARV was like in the 760s or so. And he wants to see if he can do 700 creatively, like his seller finance. So that was already given to us as a lead where he was intrigued by seller finance. And I did confirm yesterday that is what he wants to talk about. So I thought he would be a great call for today.
Yeah.
So we'll give it a few minutes.
What city is it in?
It's Rancho Cucamonga. Let me look him up. So yeah, Rancho Cucamonga, California.
I've never heard of this city.
Really?
Oh, it's literally like right next to San Bernardino.
Yes.
Rancho. It's actually not. It's a little bit from LA. Let's actually see what the driving distance is from LA. What is it? 50 minutes from LA.
Mm-hmm.
I like to look at stuff. He's like, hey, I thought that was a made-up city.
Really?
That's so funny. Does your VA ask about seller finance? No, not really. What were you saying, Ralph?
I was just going to say that it's I know it's an area that's kind of super desert because there's a farmer out there that I follow that does a lot of like the regenerative agriculture stuff that intrigues me, and he managed to turn some of those desert lands back into pasture using that form of farming. But without going into that separate subject, that's the only reason I know what Rancho Cucamonga is. But it's a real place.
What's the? Do you know how many bed and baths the house has?
It's a 3, and according to Zillow, it's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom. 3,100 square feet. But I haven't gotten any details from him, so I don't know if it's maybe something different. But
yeah, the cash flows, the growth. I'm throwing it in my Airbnb calculator. I'm just
cool.
But also, let me see. Maybe I don't use Rancho Cucamonga. Maybe I use, where is it next to? San Bernardino. Let's see how far it is from. Maybe I can use San Bernardino as a comp. 25 minutes. That's good enough for me. San Bernardino. Come on, calculator. Come on, calculator. Let's see. Yeah, the cash flow as San Bernardino. Hmm. I think I found a bug in my calculator.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is good. It doesn't actually have San Bernardino. Isn't that like a bigger city in California?
I am not as familiar with their geography, but yeah.
Someone told me you can do zip codes in my calculator. Actually, I have a beta tester who's like, you should be able to do zip codes. Let's see if zip codes work. No, zip codes don't work.
Oh,
Oh no, it does actually. Holy cow, it actually does work. Yeah, so apparently there's only one active listing. Yeah, this might. So the reason I'm doing this, right?
Mhm.
So San Bernardino is big. Okay, Matt's saying try Ontario, California. All right. Yeah, this calculator has some bugs, and one of the biggest bugs is it only has specific cities. Yeah, okay. Ontario, California has about 15 listings, so there's not many Airbnbs here. All right. So is that a bad thing? Not really. Does it kill the deal? Not necessarily. But we have to be careful of our PITI for this.
Mhm.
Right. The reason I'm looking this up is like I want to know what our Airbnb gross is, and it's just about like I don't know, 5-6 grand, which isn't. It's not, especially for a $700,000 house. You know what I mean? The PITI might actually eat into the cash flow.
Gotcha.
Riverside is good for Airbnb. I don't know where Riverside is.
Is that close to Rancho Cucamonga?
I don't know.
No.
San Bernardino. Maybe I spelled it wrong. San Bernardino. Let's do San B. Yeah, San Bernard. Yeah, it's not picking it up for some reason. Maybe it's because it picks up cities, not counties. I don't know. Oh, I see Riverside. Okay, I see what you're saying. Riverside is kind of close. Let's see Riverside. So it is 30 minutes from Riverside, so we can actually run that in the calculator. Riverside, California shows up. There are 53 active listings, and the numbers for Riverside, Vinny, is actually a lot better. We're looking at a gross anywhere between 7 to 9K. Yeah, so see that's the risk though, right? Like when you look at an Airbnb deal, say somebody wants to do something in Riverside, will they want to drive 30 minutes? You know what I mean? And if they do drive 30 minutes from their destination, they're probably going to pay a little bit less per night. So, Vinny, what we're doing is that we have a potential deal in California in Rancho Cucamonga. It's a seller finance deal. Look, if the guy takes our address is right near the airport. Oh, that's pretty good. Is there an airport there? Rancho Cucamonga. I don't see any airports. So, anyways, Vinny, what we're trying to do is trying to figure out like where can we be at? Like some deals, you actually don't have enough spread to get the seller finance interest, especially if it's like, not going to cash flow that much. 700K, even at zero interest, you're about $2,000. So like we could maybe do zero interest, but he probably want like 4 or 5. Maybe we can give him 2 or 3. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Rancho would be good for rentals. I wonder what the rent-o-meter is.
You want me to give the guy a call meanwhile while you look all that up? It's been 5 minutes, way over 5 minutes at this point.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's give him a call back.
Cool.
You could definitely wrap it, TK Sol.
leave your message for 9099.
I'm only going to go 2 on this one just to not be overbearing.
Yeah.
Because he sounds like he might be at work.
Please.
I don't want to bother him. He sounds like he's at work, so
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I'll just try later.
Envelope right now.
Cool. All right.
Rancho is a well-developed area, lots of shopping and great for families. That's amazing. I still don't dislike it as a human being.
Let's see. All right. I'm gonna try this one real quick. Turn this. This one's in North Carolina.
Yeah, let's call. I need to go get a Starbucks latte. Might go after this call, after this stream. Go get them. Vinny, I live in DC. I'm gonna be moving to Phoenix, Arizona very soon.
That was weird. Huh.
Try again.
Please leave your message for 2.
Okay.
Where is IE, Vinny? Tell me where IE.
Please leave your message for
3 times is a charm.
Yep, make a note of it in the system and keep going. Where the heck is IE? I'm probably an idiot.
Well, she answered, but she hung up.
Yep, I guess.
And I just got a voicemail from the guy I just tried calling.
Okay, what's he saying?
Let's see. Oh.
Hello, this is Gordon calling you back. Hit me back.
He said, "Hit me back."
All right, perfect. Inland Empire covers ranch and surrounding. Oh, Vinny, that's awesome. Hey, we got boots in the ground.
Oh,
Hey, Gordon.
hey.
Hey, sorry about that. Like, I guess your voicemail went straight to, like, your call went straight to my voicemail, so I missed you when you called back. Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. How are you?
I'm well.
Awesome. Awesome. Are you at work right now?
I am.
Okay. Is this a good time to talk then?
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, so, all right. Let me pull up your information. I don't have a whole lot right here, but I believe you've been speaking with my partner, Mark. Is that correct?
I think that was his name. I can't remember, but yeah.
Gotcha. Well, any chance you could just kind of bring me up to speed on what y'all discussed so I kind of know what's going on?
I actually don't remember. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just looking through here, and really all he wrote was that you were looking for the right offer, you want to move to Arizona to be with your family, and you were interested in hearing about the seller finance option. Does that sound about right?
What is the seller finance option?
All right. So you own the property free and clear, correct?
Yes.
So essentially, what we would be doing is we would give you the purchase price that you want, and we would pay you that over time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember
Mm-hmm. So is that something you would be, interested in talking about, entertaining?
that. Well, one is what kind of time are we talking? What kind of payments are we talking? And yeah, how would that kind of work?
So
Because
essentially,
over time, if we're talking years, I mean, I don't want to get into something and then have you guys go bye bye.
Sure.
That's kind of hate.
That is understandable. So one of the things you're worried about is if we agree to a period of time to pay you out, you're worried that one day we may just disappear, just not make a payment or something. That's what you're worried about?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a common concern when we do these. That's a completely understandable thing to worry about. So in that case, we've never had that situation happen, first off, because if it's a property that we pick up this way, we're getting something out of it, right? We're going to be getting cash flow. So the last thing we want to do is lose that. But in order to protect you, we do set things up for that. In this case, we would set up just in the document or in the paperwork, it's called a performance deed. And what this is that in the event that we were to miss one payment, you would get the house back in the repaired condition that it's in. If we have tenants in it and it's making cash flow, you would get that. And it gives you the opportunity to just turn around and sell the house again if you'd want to. So a lot of times when we've actually had this come up with sellers, we've had sellers that pretty much tell us, "Oh, so this is actually good for me if you miss a payment. I get a house that's more paid down, likely been remodeled and in good shape, and now I get to either sell it off again or I can keep a cash flowing asset." So that's one of the things that we do to at least keep you protected.
And what's the timeline in terms of your payoff to me?
Well, that's something we'd have to discuss and see what you're looking at doing because, right, you'd be the bank at this point. So when I go to my mortgage lender and I ask them for that, they usually give me a set of terms and a set of like a timeline and a monthly payment and all those things. And we go from there.
It's fucking
So
beautiful. I'm
So
like,
what would
that's
be
eating a dish.
the initial down payment, or
What do you want? What does he want? What does he
or
want?
does it start off with like a mortgage payment as opposed to like here's like $20,000 or something?
Yeah, 20,000. Fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's jump on it. Jump on
And then we'll
it.
make payments after that.
Say we basically do 10.
Well, there's a lot of ways this can be structured. So let me ask you this, what is the biggest thing you're trying to accomplish with the sale of this house?
Basically to well, I guess to pay off debt and to just get out of Dodge.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. So then the big question is, what's that number that you were thinking of in terms of debt then? Because is this debt you're looking to pay off over time? Is this debt you're looking to pay off in one swoop? Where is that debt?
It's be a better situation. I mean, if I could, well, it would have to be obviously paying off some debt and then having enough to put a down payment on a new house somewhere.
Mm-hmm. So for us, what we typically do, and most of the deals that we've been seller financing at this time, we're generally doing kind of just what a typical mortgage would be for low down payment. So 5,000 to 10,000 is usually, there are exceptions, but that's generally where we're falling at. But there's, like I said, there's other terms we can work around, because there's other factors, right? The monthly payment and the time. But generally speaking, 5,000 to 10,000 is about where we fall.
Okay. Yeah, little on the low ball side, only because, like I said, I mean, it wouldn't
What
really
does
do
he need?
anything for paying
What does
off
he
the
need?
rent and
What does he
being
need?
able
I
to,
love it. I love it.
afford another down payment.
So what would you need? Like, what is what would
Love
be
this.
the
This is
thing
such a
right here
fun
that would help you the most then?
I'm
What
so
would you need out of
happy.
this?
This is such a great call.
Well, it would need to be a whole lot more than $5,000, like 10 times that probably.
50 grand. 50. We can do 50.
So about
So about 50 grand. I don't know how much you put down on a house to keep your payments down, but
What's the condition?
put it this way, I put about $200,000 down on the house I'm in now. That's I mean I wanted the payments down, but and now my payments are
Typically, we have to repair
$1,500.
houses.
Okay.
We buy them.
So are you still? So you still have a mortgage on the property then?
Yes. Oh, is that what you was asking me when I say you said own it outright?
Yeah. So when this came to me, it was proposed as a seller finance deal. So what that implies is that the property's completely paid off and you own it free and clear.
Oh no. Okay, yeah. No, I owe about 200 grand on it.
Okay. Got it. Well, that changes things a little bit. So you owe 200 grand and you were hoping to get about 700, right?
Yeah, 7 or obviously as much as possible. But
Okay.
definitely no lower than 7. I think the houses in the area were selling like I think the most I saw was probably 725 or 750 was the most.
Okay. So can you tell me a little bit about the condition of the property? Because we normally expect to have to come in and make some repairs.
Definitely.
Okay. So it needs repairs. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, sure. You probably need to come in, do new flooring.
Okay.
Definitely, new flooring, new cabinetry in the kitchen.
We don't need to do any of that shit for an Airbnb. We don't need new floors. We don't need
outside work.
Easy.
Garden.
Easy.
Okay. So if I were to give you a Home Depot card right now, like a gift card, about how much do you think you would need on it in order to take care of the house and get it ready for the market?
I want to talk to the seller. I love this deal.
Probably about 20, 30 grand.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking, like I said, new flooring, carpeting, tile.
Vinny, he's calling the rental house.
Yeah, like I said, more lawn work in terms of just getting it done. Spectacular.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, so with that said, then I'm curious. Have you considered listing it yourself? To just maximize the amount you could make.
Because it would cost me that much to get it together. And,
Yep. Got it. Yep.
I just haven't had that kind of money to put into the house.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm trying to look around. I'm seeing some of the prices you're saying in the area. So the retail price is 100% seems to be in that realm of what you're thinking. I want to be able to give you that 700. I really do. But the problem I'm going to have with that is, you said it yourself, the house probably needs like 20 or 30,000 worth of work. And so just in that alone, if I came in and you said they're selling roughly for about 725, if I gave you 700 and I had to put 30,000 into it, I would already be losing money, wouldn't I?
Well, that depends on what you resell it for.
Well, we usually use what's going on in the market in that area. That's kind of our guideline for that. What houses are going for of similar condition.
I would move away from that.
That's why I said, I think to whoever I was speaking to before, that if I sold it, it would be as is. I wasn't really interested in having people walk through, doing the open house and having people walk through the house, only because
move away from cash
it
flow.
has to be, fixed.
Yeah.
to look like, okay, I really want this house. But if it was an as is situation, I would just like, fuck, I would pull a truck up to the house and leave.
Okay. Well, then let's see. There's a few other options here because the thing is, at a cash offer, I just don't think we would make that work. I don't think we would be able to come up anywhere close to what you would be needing. So there is one other option we could start to look towards. There's a couple things there. So you do have a mortgage in place. What if I came in, picked up the payments from where they're at, and then from there gave you, say, since the house doesn't need any major repairs, we can come in and give you a bigger down payment and then pay you your equity over time. So similar to what we spoke earlier, but since you have a mortgage in place, we'd basically be taking over your payments.
That one I'd have to think through. Okay. I'd have to. I mean, it sounds almost okay, but I'd have to get my mind wrapped around that.
Sure.
And see what it would take for me at that point to move on.
Do you have any kind of immediate questions that spring to mind right now?
Good fucking question, bro. Good question.
No, not at the moment. I think I've asked at least the questions that I know to ask, or that I think I asked. So,
and I just want to make sure that this all makes sense, right? Because this form of what we're talking about here is kind of high level real estate. It's kind of I call it create. A lot of us call it creative, but these are ways that we, as investors, we're able to purchase properties and come up in price and help people like you who are in situations where you don't want to go through traditional, a traditional real estate sell. So I guess, the next question I have for you, before we even move forward on this is, I'm just wondering, is there anybody else that you need to talk to about this before we would even move forward or make a decision?
My ex-wife is in the house with me. I mean, I would talk to her, but it's not like it's going to sway me one way or the
other. Is she on the title at all, or is this purely your decision?
No, it would be purely my decision.
Okay.
But I would talk just out of respect.
Absolutely. You're a good man, Gordon. You have to have the patience of a saint. If and I don't know the relationship with you and your ex-wife, but I don't know a lot of people that stay living with their ex-wife, and I don't know if that just tells me you're a super patient, nice guy.
Well, it's probably cheaper to keep them either way.
Yes, it is. Yes, sir. You're a smart man, for sure. Well, look, this is something, like I said, that I think we can at least come up to your price more. Because again, if we go a cash route, it's going to be super low, just because for us to make anything on the back end with, putting in some repairs and having to list it, that would just make it a little bit to where I don't think you'd be happy with that offer. So I think the next best bet is to kind of look at some of these creative alternatives so that we can get you what you want and you can still get out of the house without having to do showings, without having to put any work into it.
This actually might be innovation.
You said you don't have any questions right now, but do you have any concerns or anything about what we've discussed so far?
Well, I mean, only just in my knowledge base of what you're talking about. I mean, like I said, I just want to wrap my head around it, see if it really works for me, and like I said, just talk to my ex about it.
Okay. But well, let's do this then. Before I let you go, I just want to make sure I at least have what you need correctly in my head, just that I got all the details down right. So for this to be something that intrigues you, or to be something that actually helps you, right? You're looking for, about 40 or 50,000 down. Is that where we're at?
That would work. Yeah.
Okay. And then obviously we would pick up the mortgage from there. So essentially that's just one thing I wanted to have clear, because I want to be able to run back the numbers and look at everything. But actually, you know what? Before I let you go, do you know off the top of your head, this is some information I would need if we were going to go this route. You said your monthly payments, including taxes and insurance, are about $1,500?
Yes.
Okay. So 1,500. You owe about 200 on the property, and just needs a little bit of work. And you would want about 50K down. Okay, I got those details down. Anything else? Just is there anything else that you would be trying to get out of this? Because I know you're trying to move to Arizona. So I mean, would you need help with packing? Would you need help with moving? Anything like that?
No. Like I said, if you came up with that, I would be able to, like I said, pull up a truck to the house, load it up, and be on my way.
Got it.
Awesome. So, okay. Well, let's do this. I'm going to run some numbers. You think this through a little bit. We can really follow up on this more. And then what I would like for you to do is not only discuss this with your ex-wife, like you said, out of respect, but more importantly, think of some questions. I need you to make me work. So think of what about this, what are your questions here? What do you like about this? What do you hate about this? What are your concerns? And, write these down. That way that you have them with you. And then the next time we talk, make me work, man.
No problem. No problem.
Awesome. Well, hey, do you have any other questions for me before I let you go?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment.
Awesome. All right. Well, Gordon, when would be a good time to just follow up with you?
We could go next week. Actually, anytime. Well, hold on a second. I'm traveling. Yeah, anytime next week. It's fine.
Perfect. All right. I'll give you a call towards the beginning of the week. Maybe it'll be a little bit later. So maybe a little bit after 3 p.m. your time. Is that cool?
Yep.
Perfect. Awesome, Gordon. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time, especially for taking my call while you're at work. I really appreciate you for that.
No problem.
Awesome. Well, my friend, you have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk next week.
All right, thanks. Yeah.
Have a good one. All right.
Bro, you just ran a clinic. That was a clinic, man. That was awesome.
I wanted to do cash, but just because my brain still wants to, it's easy, it's clean.
It could work. I think he wanted to hear about the seller finance option in this call, which this is what I do, right? Like when you talk to somebody, even if cash is a better option, if they don't want to hear that right now, you're actually irritating them when you go down the route, right? And he probably thinks maybe cash might work, right? But I can sometimes sense these things, and he just wanted to hear about the creative. And so what I do, I typically do when I'm in this specific situation for work, maybe I'm trying to figure out if cash works or creative works. I do creative, but then I say something like, yeah, I don't know if it's really what works for you. I don't know if this works for you. I mean, would you be okay with getting $40,000 down and us taking over the mortgage and then making a secondary payment to you? That's usually not most people's first bet. We can do it. And then I start establishing credibility. I use a third-party story. They say, look, I just bought a deal from Declan in San Francisco. It's a $1.2 million house. We just got under contract last week. We're giving him $10,000 down. He's got $300,000 of equity, right? And I use a third-party story, and I tell him, I'm like, look, I'm solving his problem. He has a major pain point, which is a tenant. I tell him about the tenant, blah 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 blah. Like, you don't have a tenant. Your pain point is like you want to move and you want some upfront cash to help you move. Maybe even make a down payment on a property, something like that. Right. So let's figure out how we can work together to solve your pain point. You don't want a bunch of people. This is where I use the active listening to paint the picture. You don't want a bunch of people coming in, taking photos of the house. You don't want to, to put the money out of pocket to fix up the house to go list it with a realtor who's going to take 6% plus, closing costs and things like that, up to 9%. Right. You want your 700. This is one way we can do it, but I'm not sure if it's a good fit. Right. And so that's one way to do it. That way, you don't come across as doing benefits. I think you did a really good job here. I think you showed that something I do is I never personally Go, hey, here's my idea, and here's why I think it's a great idea for you. I want them to tell me it's a good idea.
Gotcha.
I like.
So you almost put it in with a pull away
I
slant.
always that's like my style, man. I'm like, hey, like here's an idea. I don't know if it works for you, and then they will go, yeah, I like that. And I tell them the benefits, and I'm always like, yeah, see, I work for Declan because of this. Yeah, maybe it'll work for you because of this, but I'm not sure. We do this all day, and then I talk credibility, I talk benefits. I buy 2-3 houses a month, just like this. This is something we do, right? What do you think? I want them to go, yeah, this sounds cool. I'm interested. I don't want to tell them why they should be interested. I never tell them, right? TK Soul says this many superpower pull away. I actually like that's like me with everything. If the other person I have an idea with, if they're not equally as excited with me, I don't want to do it. So like when I give somebody options, it's like here's why I'm excited about this, but I mean I don't know if that excites you. I don't know. Right? And it's like there's got to be like one skeptic in the group a little bit, and like if you're the skeptic. It's like, you know what I mean? If you're both the skeptic, you're like kind of on the same field. But if they're like, whoa, let's talk. But if you're really, going for it, they might be like, whoa, let me take a step back. That's just like a small thing, right? Vinny says, can you explain novation again? How would you apply it to this deal? I'd say, gentleman's name was, hold on, don't tell me. Not George, Gordon. Gordon was like, hey, like, I don't want to fix it. And I would ask him, and this is maybe not in this call. Like, let's say you explore creative and you come back to cash. Maybe, hey, Vinny buys houses. Do you fix and flip in the area because you're local? Would you be a buyer for this as a cash deal? That's a question for you. So here's how you can do innovation. You can say, look, man, as is, you're not getting 700. You're not getting like, any of that. Like if you got a realtor today and you sold it as is, like, what do you think you'd get? Right. And he'd probably be like 620, 630. And then you'd be like, look, bro, what, and you get 620, 630, and you have a bunch of people walking in and out of your house. You'd have to, you know what I mean? You'd have, what if I could give you 620? I pay commissions, I pay closing costs. I'm gonna go get a realtor and I'll pay them. But we don't have all that crap. Right? And he might be like, well, how does that work? Right? And you can say something like, look, if you sell it as is and then not sell because it might need new stuff, I'll come in. We'll have an agreement between us. I'll come in. I'll guarantee you your 620 or 630, whatever it is, and you have to underwrite it to make sure. You let them know, look, I don't even know if this works. I have to actually underwrite it. But we'll make you a down payment. We'll make you a small down payment so you can actually move, get things going. We'll make the monthly payments every month for the house. We'll come in with our capital. We'll come in with our 30 grand. We'll fix it up. We'll list it, 700. We'll pay the realtor. We'll pay the closing costs, commission, all that crap. And then after it sells, you get a check for the remainder, right? Say we agree to 620 and we made 20K down, you get a check for 600K. We do this. This is called our fix and list program. Right?
Fix and list. I like that.
Yep, fix and list. So Vinny, I mean, do you have access to, so for this kind of thing, you'd need access to 50, 60K for like non-payment, things like that. We could assign this to you if you'd like. Or we JV with somebody who has funding. But this is innovation, right? And the idea here for innovation is we do sell it at 625. We do, put in, I think it does need 30. I think 20, 30. What's up, guys? There's a Necho. I have no idea what a Necho. Oh, there's a Necho. Ralph, turn your thing down, please.
How about now?
Yep, that's better. Yeah.
Cool.
So, maybe it needs 30K at work, right? So if we come in with a 30, but it might need more. It might need 50, and we let him know. It might need 60. We'll handle it. We'll find everything it needs, and we'll handle it. Maybe the roof needs to be updated. We'll handle it. We'll come in with the work. We'll get it really nice and pretty. We'll list it with the realtor. We'll pay the realtor. We pay you first. You just let them know we pay you your check first, and we pay pay the lender. We pay the realtor. We pay the title people. We pay the buyer's realtor. We pay everybody, and then whatever's left over is our profit. Right. So that's innovation, and that can be a possibility, but it also has to work. It has to make sense. But
Do you think
if he needs more, then he gets less on the grid. I have no idea what you're asking. I'm so sorry.
what do you think it would be possible to? Well, again, just talking to him more. Do you think the cash out refi to sub 2 would be another option here? Maybe?
It's possible, but that means like the challenge with the cash out refi, which it could work, right? But that's real creative. That's like super super creative, and it's like, look, bro, like he has to go get a loan, and then we have to show we're servicing that debt for at least 3 months, so it gets wiped off his DTI, and then he can use that money for another loan. So it could work. We know he has a W-2, so he could get approved for a loan. It's just, if it like, I like to look at like what the path of least resistance is to solve their problem. And if he's like, hey, I just need 50K, like that's doable, man. Like that's super doable for sure. Like my entry is still like, 70K minus furnishing. So I haven't included, maybe with furnishing, I'm getting, putting 100K in. I have to actually underwrite the deal to see if that works. But like, maybe he doesn't need 40K. Maybe he needs 30, maybe he'll do 25K. Right. Mm-hmm. So Vinny says, if the house needs more rehabbing, he gets less on the agreed price. Yeah, exactly. You can actually change that, right? But I'm just saying it as a negotiation tactic, right? Like, and you know what? Like, if it needs a little bit more, 5-10 more, like, I wouldn't renegotiate, right? I'd like anchor him low, so I can make profit if I can do the novation at low costs, right? But if there's something major he didn't tell us about, something he was hiding or didn't know about, we go, whoa, we got to redo this. This is a huge problem. But I typically don't like to renegotiate price once I get a price. I like to say, hey, look, you wouldn't want me to renegotiate if I find these small things that add up. I'll eat it, right? As long as you're not, hiding anything major, or there's something major wrong with the house, like a foundation issue that you didn't know about that comes up, we'll have to have a conversation. But I 9 out of 10 times, or 99 out of 10 times, I don't do that. That never happens. And one way to do it is you can just send a home inspector in during the due diligence period. So you don't like start the contract not knowing, like that's what I do. I send a home inspector out, and I get a 3D walkthrough of properties I work on during the due diligence period. And then I can like literally show sellers photos, and I can literally show them the home inspection report. Costs a little bit of money up front, but I definitely do it. Hi, everyone. Great to be here and be able to listen. Yeah, for sure. Nice to have you here, Ellie. Any questions, Ralph?
Not at the moment, other than we just have to underwrite that and see if it even is a deal, something that's doable.
Mm-hmm. You want me to underwrite it?
Sure. I figured, I was going to say, I guess I was just thinking, and again, I know California prices are way higher than the majority of the country, and I live in Georgia where it's significantly lower, but $1,500 a month already PITI. I was just wondering what the rent rates are in that area. Even
it was like 3, I think. I looked
3? Oh, okay. Okay, so that would still work as a high, because I was just trying to think 1,500 plus his monthly payments to his equity. I mean, that would probably be a little bit higher, obviously. So I mean, that would make the monthly payments closer to 2,000. I figured.
Yeah, it's about 3. Okay, so
that's awesome. Never mind then,
bro. We might make money here. So let's do, what was it called? Rancho. What was it? Rancho something.
Cucamonga.
Oh, Rancho Cucamonga, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's 3-bedroom, right? So
Mhm.
let's search it. There's only 11 active listings. So this isn't the bet. Like, but look, 4,100 is still better than 3, right? So it doesn't need $1,000 a month in cleaning. And let's like, yeah, these prices are a little high because it's for a 6-bedroom house we have. So let's say the PITI is like $2,000, right? Not 200, $2,000, $2,000. Electric and gas, not going to be 500. This is not a 6-bedroom house. Let's say it's 200. Let's say it's 250 a month, right? 250. Water and garbage, I don't know. Smaller house, 100. Landscape, let's keep it 150. Wi-Fi, right? Okay, so look at this PML, right? 50K. PML might, or not 50, 500 a month. PML actually might be higher. PML might actually be higher. If let's say we borrow 100K for this, I typically get 10% divided by 12. So it's 10 grand a month, 833. Okay. So look at this. You see how like negative cash flows, 200, like in negative cash flows as an Airbnb, because if I'm only in the top 25%, I'm actually not going to make the money I need, right? But, and this is what's risky about Airbnbs. Like, if you're in the top 10%, you're actually crushing it. You're making $1,200 a month, right? Now, here's another thing: you only have 11 active listings, right? So let's take a look. Hopefully, it doesn't reset my. Here's Ontario. It doesn't reset my numbers. Oh, it resets my numbers. Okay. but look, okay. 500. Let's do 700. 2,500. 250. 250. 833. So look, you're still negative cash flowing. So now this tells me something really good. If I buy this as an Airbnb, right? If I buy this as an Airbnb, I better be in the top 10%. Right? Do we do those? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. 100% all day. Is that our primary? No. No freaking way. Because that's a risky model, right? That's a risky model. If I updated this here, look, let's say 700, 2,500, 50, 150. Why is it
The top number.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Look at this, right? So this might not be
a good Airbnb.
And I'll tell you why. Think about it. Think about it this way: the rent and the like gross income for a property like this, like it's like a $700,000 house, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the rents are small. It's like one of those areas that just don't cash flow because like the house prices are so much higher than the market rent, right? So like, are the numbers clear? Is blurred for me? Can you see the numbers, or are they blurry?
No, I can see them.
Yeah, I think it's you, Papiaya. Or Tigoza 18 says, "What tool are you using?" This is custom software I've actually built to underwrite Airbnbs for me. And no, it's a custom calculator that pings AirDNA's database to get gross income. So all this data you're seeing is from AirDNA's database. Good question. So that's why I'm like, this might not actually be but the thing is, if you can crush it on the Airbnb game, I mean, you're top 10%, maybe you got to be top 5%, right? And you're really crushing it there, and you're very attractive Airbnb, and you're net positive 1,000 a month, 700 a month, right? After paying your lenders. The reason you would buy this, someone would buy this, is because you want the appreciation. That house could be worth 800K 900K, right? I still don't hate it as an Airbnb. I really don't. I don't hate it. I gotta see what I gotta see like what demographic I target. Maybe I don't target the people who are looking at Rancho Cucamonga. Maybe I target people who are looking at where are we at? San Bernardino, because I couldn't get the data for San Bernardino, right? That's a glitch in my calculator, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, maybe San Bernardino is crushing it. I don't know. I'd have to check. Vinny says regular rental may be the way to go. Maybe, but then actually, I don't know, man, because like, I mean, regular rental, I'm getting 3, Airbnb, I'm getting 5, right? So, regular rental might not work. I might negative cash flow. So guess what? Are there people who buy houses that will negative cash flow 100%? Pace does all the time. Because guess what you get to do with a $700,000 house? You get to depreciate it.
Depreciation.
Yep, you get to depreciate it. So there are. I mean, look, it's still a deal. I think it's not terrible. No PIT, but Vinny, don't forget, you have a second loan on it to the seller for his equity. So don't forget you have a second loan.
Yeah, because he's going to have about $500,000 worth of equity that he wants to get out of this.
Absolutely. So, we can't forget that he's going to want a second payment, but then also you've got your private lenders to pay. So you've got a third position loan.
Yep.
So you're leveraging like crazy, right? So, and you know what? It's still like a deal. Like depending on if Pace is buying in that area, like I can see him wanting it really bad because, he buys literally to offset capital gains from his fixed incomes. So like I can even show you guys am I sharing my tab? I think I'm sharing my tab. Wish I could share my calculator. Not this one I built, but I've got a second calculator. I'll just run the numbers. So say like I'm pulling my calculator up right now. So 700,000, right? I can show you if he does a bonus depreciation on 700,000, which is we're going to take 75% of it. And so, he can actually depreciate that over 4 years. So he can actually get a $131,000 tax write-off immediately for buying that house.
Wow.
So that means he could make a triple digit flip and then like use some money, right? Maybe spend like, $100,000 using other people's money to buy this house, right? Negative cash flow a little bit, even $1,000 a month. What is that? $12,000, right? Out of pocket. And then make a triple digit flip and not pay a dime of interest. Not interest, sorry, a dime of taxes on that. So he keeps it. Because if you have a 6-figure flip, say $100K, maybe 15%, 20%, so 15, 20, 30, maybe even $30,000, depending on what bracket you're in, might be a tax bill, right? So now he gets to keep that. He doesn't pay any taxes on it. Now he can buy real estate or lend the money out and get interest on it. He can do different things with the money. I got really deep. I got really into the weeds. Sorry. I want to show that like, hey, it's, just because it doesn't, it might not necessarily make sense, for a specific exit doesn't mean it's still a bad deal. There's different exits. I would say this is definitely a deal that I will if he's actually interested and we figure out maybe he's cool with $500 a month payments until we balloon him.
It would probably need to be that because I just typed into a calculator, I divided, if we gave him 50 down, I did 450,000 and just to kind of spitball a easy number.
Did you divide it by 360?
Yep. And it comes out to about $1,250 a month. So, I mean, that would kill it.
That's tough, right? Because now you're at 3,000. So I mean, I'd be like, bro, would you be down with $500 a month until in 5 years we'll give you the remainder, and then he might be cool with it. He might be like, hell yeah, let's do it, right? And then you just got to go, look, man, I gotta say this. And what happens if the market crashes in 5 years?
Yeah. And
then he'll be like, yeah, what do? Say we put in something. It's an automatic 5-year extension. If the house does not appraise, and it's just to protect you, protect me, so we don't have to deal with stuff. Like, we're gonna get an appraisal. If the house appraises, nope, easy, dude. We can sell it, we can refinance it, no problem. But if the house doesn't appraise, we get a automatic 5-year extension.
Okay.
You're getting a check for $500 a month. Boom, boom, boom. So that's the direction I go, and that's how we can keep the PITI like low. And I think it's a deal. I think, like, you know, even like let's see if we can get the down payment lower, even at 40K, you know, with the PIT. I think it's a deal, bro. If he can accept a low payment, I'd buy it. I actually, like, personally buy it.
Okay.
Even if it like you know, even if we have to swing for a home run on an Airbnb, we do it. You know what I mean? It's in a good area, dude. It's in a great area.
I dig it. Well, I'll be calling him back next week and following up, and we'll go from there then.
Yeah, I think that area is only going to appreciate. I think is it like an hour east of Los Angeles?
Mm-hmm. I don't know about which direction, but yeah, it didn't seem like it was that far out, and it was. I said it was like 30 minutes outside of.
49 minutes east of LA, bro. Like, I think it's good.
Nice.
It's a good area. I'd buy it. I think Pace would buy it. I think there are people here watching this would freaking buy it. I think it's a good one, and he's right. Like, what with traffic is 2 hours. Yeah, like, sure, for sure. Sounds like East Coast traffic. Okay, any questions, Ralph?
None right now. I'm good.
Cool. Awesome, dude. What a great call. I want you to listen to this call. I think I want you to listen to it a few times and just hear the conversation over and over again. Okay, that's your homework. I think you did amazing. I want you to just listen to the flow of the call. Just try to imagine what he's thinking, where he's at when he's talking to you, and how you responded. Okay, that's something I like to do when I listen to my seller calls.
And the biggest thing I'm going to take from this personally is that instead of this time trying to tell them the benefits, try to see if I can lay it out, even put it in with a pull away, and see if they can find the benefits themselves.
Yeah,
I introduce the idea, kind of, you know, I don't think this is something that would interest you.
I know. Well, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Don't say I don't think.
Okay, I'm writing that down.
Yeah, right.
I'm not sure this will interest you.
I'm not sure if this will interest you. I'm not sure if this works for you. I always say those words. I don't say I don't think this works for you, because then look, like, then I'm taking a position where I don't think it works for them. I know it works for. I love that it works for them. I think it does. I'm just not sure because I'm still figuring it out with them. Right.
Yeah, if you didn't think that, then I'd be like, well, then why are you suggesting?
Yeah,
that?
I don't think this works for you, but yeah, I'm not sure if this works for you, right? So that's different.
Adding that one for sure. Awesome.
It's kind of like Ralph, bro. I'm flying to Georgia. We're gonna go hang out. You know, we're gonna have the greatest time of our lives, but I'm not sure if that fits your schedule, bro. I mean, would this even work? You'd be like, no, I'll make time. You'd be like,
get your ass to Georgia.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You'd be like, dude, what are you talking about, right? It's kind of like that. But, you know, if I'm like, we'll do that, but I don't think it works for you, man. I don't think it's, you know, I don't think it's going to fit your schedule. You know, it's a little bit different. There's a little bit of a nuance there. Vinny's asked 3 times now, how do you pay back private lenders? Vinny, we either sell the house, we refinance the house, or we pay them with our cash flow, or like a little bit of mix, you know. But yeah, that's how we pay back with private lenders. All right, guys. Thank you. Ralph, anything else? Any closing thoughts?
I don't know. As always, thank you for having me, and I learned a lot from these, so I'm looking forward to the next one.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I hope you guys got value. If you did, go make a post. Go shout out Ralph. Go shout out how awesome he is and how smooth he is on the phone. I was geeking out, bro. If you watch the replay, you're gonna just hear me geeking out. I feel like Gordon Ramsay when he has some good food. You know the meme where he's like, oh, some fucking delicious food. Finally, that's how I was like, yes, this is good. So definitely listen to the replay. Guys, shout out Ralph. Thank you. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye.